All right, that worked too. So, welcome. It's Sunday night. It is summertime. It is hot outside. I don't know if you've been enjoying the fabulous hot weather we've been having. We had the weirdest spring, early summer, and I'm like, y'all will pay for it. And but it was like overnight, somebody started the oven, and it has been brutal around here. But I hope everybody has enjoyed some of their summertime, but I also hope you've been taking into account what we've been talking about on the team call. So, and what's been going on here in Partner Co. And you're not getting left behind. So, I'm going to start with announcements. Obviously, we've got PXP coming up. That is the first weekend in September. So, this is going to be Labor Day weekend. It is going to be September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And if you're going over to the theme park, that's going to be on the 6th. So there will be master classes on the 3rd. Guys, PXP is amazing well, every event we have is amazing in general, especially when corporate gets involved. But this and our Destin event in the spring are the two biggies because we get a chance to do master classes. And what is a master class? This is where we have some of the top leaders in the company come in and you rotate through different speakers and learn different skill sets. So if you don't have your ticket yet, you need to get it. Number two, if you're making runs for Epic Club, you're getting a free ticket. Okay. So when I go after Epic Club, not only am I growing my business, but I've got this free ticket that I can give somebody to go with me to PXP. If you are new to the industry, this is where we say magic happens. This is where it goes from your head to your heart. This is where, when you've heard Summer and Greg say the same thing in the same tone of voice, the same time every Sunday night for 6 months, all of a sudden makes sense when Brent Palmer says it, or um, I can't even think of another leader's name. Like Todd Rowland says it, or Stacey Woodford. They say the same thing, and then somebody comes running up to me on my team and go, oh my goodness, did you hear what Stacey Woodford said?" And I was like, "Uh huh." And they were like, "Oh, this is so great. I've never heard this before." And I'm like, "Uh huh." I was like, "Yeah, that's awesome. I thought it was great too." I have zero ego here. I get, I have to control myself because I get so excited when the light bulb goes off because it's not about me. My job is to coach you, my job is to get better myself. And so when I see somebody's light bulbs start lighting up their Christmas tree, I know Donkey Kong, it's on. Okay. So these are the events where all of a sudden, and here's what I want you to think about: you're not distracted by life when you're there. Yes, life can be going on, people can be messaging you, but you're immersed in it. So I'm involved in some counseling retreats, and they're called immersive, events. You go in, you lock yourself in a house for 3 or 4 days, and you walk out a completely different person. I've gone 3 different occasions. It will change you. On the side with Partner Co, you go in and it's a bunch of nut jobs running around excited about life and what the future could hold if they choose to pivot. They have an opportunity to change their life. So if you can get to PXP, get there. If you can't get to PXP, get there. Are you reading between the lines? I don't care if you're broke, figure out a way. People spend money where they want to spend money. We have gone to an event and put 9 people in a hotel room. Were any of y'all in that room? I don't think any of y'all were. I had 9 people in my hotel room. We had to like announce, Chastity was in there. We had to, we've done that more than once. Okay. I'm not talking about renting an Airbnb. This is like a Hyatt hotel room. It was the handicap. So there was a little more floor space for the wheelchair, but we didn't have a wheelchair. But we would have to announce when we got up in the night to go pee. because there was somebody between the beds, there was somebody under the desk, there was somebody in the hallway going to the bathroom, there was somebody at the foot of this bed, and you would have to like tiptoe around people. One of the most fun trips I've ever been on. And actually, the equivalent to Katie, we were running with him on that Saturday morning. I said, Ryan, we have 9 people in my hotel room. He said, are you freaking kidding me? I said, no, but I wanted my people here. Whatever it took to get them here, that's what I was doing. I wasn't making Brent Palmer money to go rent a big house and put everybody up. We found a way to make it affordable for everybody. And you know what? It changed people's lives. They come out of that and they do incredible things. So whatever it's going to take you to get there, get there. The amount of money we spend to go to the movies with our family is almost your ticket to get to PXP, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like tickets along with popcorn and the refreshments can very easily run you about half the ticket depending on your family size. Okay, so just make it a priority to figure out how to get there. Next is we have had parties on the books and more parties coming up. I don't have all the details in front of me. And Greg may have some coming up. I forgot to ask you if you had some, but we've got one coming up in Georgia. We got one in Smyrna, Tennessee. I know there's another one going to go down in Rainsville, Alabama. Um, there's a couple of others that I can't even think of off the top of my head. Greg, do y'all have some coming up to announce?
August 1st in Crossville, Tennessee is the Super Saturday.
Okay, so y'all are doing one the same day we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So they got a Super Saturday on the 1st. We have one here on the 1st as well. So make sure you're marking your calendars for those. And going back to what we talked about before, last week, I mean, I can't even remember everything we talked about because I've had so many conversations since then. I probably need to like add that third sticker renew during the day because it's been crazy taking care of dad. During the call last week, I got a text. My dad was in the ER while I was talking, and I was like, what? I mean, I didn't even say anything to y'all. So I was up there all night. It's been an eventful week, but I do know that what I ended on and what I talked about on the IPA the other day was we're in a business where we have to sow seeds. And we talked about Jim Rohn and the law of sowing and reaping. And right now, it does not matter what your harvest looks like. You have to be sowing the seed. If you're not sowing the seed, I guarantee you, you will have no harvest. If you're sowing the seed, we can't determine exactly what the harvest will be, but there will be a harvest. You can't sow seed and not have some sort of harvest, but you cannot sow seed and have no harvest. And so right now we have this really cool thing going. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. Maybe you have, but it's called Epic Club. And we're all running for this thing. And it's pretty freaking epic if you haven't heard of it. There is a lot of excitement around it, there's a lot of stories around it. There are old versions of what we're doing now that have forever changed people's lives. And we're in the last month of this run. We got 90 days. Some people did it right out of the gate. Some people have stayed steady at it. Some of them are going, oh, shoot, we're in the last month. I got to get my act together. I got to be an Epic Club. I don't care where you are on that spectrum. But Greg and I were talking, and we're like, there are so many people, and we're going to get together some lists. But like, I jotted down names before we started, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14 I could think of off the top of my head are one away from getting in. Just one. Guys, you want to be in that because it's going to be something that's talked about forever. Number two, you don't know if these people that you put in are going to be the one that comes out of this that changes your life forever. That one person Todd Rowland put in last time probably has put, I'm going to guess, 8 to 10,000 people in one of his legs. That's a guess. It could just be 8. But I'd take it. Would you? I mean, one person to lead to 8,000. I mean, what if it just led to 1,000? Was it worth running for Epic Club? Of course. So I want you, if you think you've gotten in and we haven't made the flyer, if you think you're one away, I want you to send me your name. Send it to Greg because we're going to compile a list. And next week, we want to make sure we put out there everybody that's one away. Or if you're one away from hitting the level two, we got diamond and gold as well. There's two more tiers of it. Don't stop just at the bare minimum. Get as many as you can because that's just like playing cards. You know, it's luck of the draw. The way I used to teach, Renee's heard me say it before back in the day. I said, everybody that we're putting our business in front of is in a deck of cards. Our job is just to turn over the deck. We don't know what the card is, but what is in every single deck of cards? Jokers, your brother in law, your best friend, Nick, that you thought would do this with you, but really they were kind of like just not in the headspace. But there's also aces and kings and queens. But you don't know the order the deck's in. Your job is just to turn the cards over. And you know what? Have y'all ever played solitaire and flipped them all over? And you still got cards laying there? And what do you have to do? Turn the deck back over. And you start playing through again. And guess what happens? You hit the cards in a different sequence. And all of a sudden, that card works, right? It's the same here with what we're doing. Our job is just to turn over the cards. And so I called Greg for a split second, ironically, before the call. We never do that. And I was like, we probably messed it up. We're probably not even going to have a good call because we talked before the call. We never do. But I said, well, when we jumped on the phone, because I was asking him about the Epic Club, I was like, I got an idea. I want to bring Chastity in because it just kind of hit me about what this sowing the seed looks like. So, Chastity, I want you to go ahead and unmute. I want to ask her a couple of questions. So, Chastity was one of the ones when I offer up opportunities to come work with me, I'm like, if y'all want to set an appointment, let's set an appointment and let's go to work. And so they come to me with a list, whether we're doing it on Zoom, whether we're doing it on the phone and we're doing three-way calls or we're doing it in person. And I will get on the phone or I will listen to them have conversations. And it's like, y'all seen all those movies where like, and they're doing all the hand signals like, go, don't go, Mission Impossible. That's me. Like, I'm going, no, don't say it. No, it's not a good time. Like, if you do calls with me, or I'm texting you if we're on three-way. They know to be on speakerphone. I'm like, don't ask now. It's not a good time. So she came to my house. She had a list and we got on the phone with people. First one, what you doing? She said, oh, we just got done ordering our wedding cake. And I was like, I said, when's the wedding? She said, so when's your wedding? She was like, 2 weeks, or it might have been 3. I was like, not right now. Time's not right. Like, she will not hear a word we have to say. And we don't want to waste the exposure we have. Get on the phone with the next one. They're interested. Get on the phone with the next one. They're interested. Get on the phone with her niece. I keep wanting to say cousin, niece. And the niece is a lot like Summer. She's going through very similar circumstances, but she had really good energy. And we had a conversation, but she was like, I'm going through a divorce, not a good time. Well, yesterday, Chastity had a party. Andrea went over to do it. I was supposed to be somewhere else, and my plans got canceled last minute on where I was supposed to be. So that's why I did yard work. But when I talked to her today, I was quite impressed with some of the things that her niece said being at the party. And so I wanted Chastity to just kind of jump in and share what Kelly said when she showed up. Just kind of what happened.
Or are we talking about like the atmosphere? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
when she showed up, she's interested in product and then just kind of the atmosphere and where it kind of led.
Got you. Okay. So she when we were done and everything, like she's like looking around and she was like, I really like being around y'all. I like this. It's like, what's not to like? But no, seriously though, um, yeah, it did her a lot of good. It did her a lot of good to be here, with what she's dealing with right now. Um, so yeah, I mean, something that we talked about is it's one of those things where um, we like being around each other more than we like being around some of our own family, our own blood. So
That is no joke. And then she also said she was interested in getting some products
Limu,
too, right?
yeah, some
Yeah.
more products. So she's actually been on the drops before. She loves them, and that was one thing she said. She was like, "I need to get some more drops," and she actually has lupus. So it's really weird, and so kind of makes me think about my health more. So on my dad's side of the family, all of his kids, except for me, all of his kids have one child who has lupus.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it's crazy. But anyway, so she deals with that and she's a very hard worker. But, she had mentioned to you before when we talked, this is probably something that she would look at more. And that was another reason she came yesterday, is to kind of look at things a little more to see, if, yeah, this is something she could do. So, but yeah, she wants to start with more products right now. So once
Okay.
she gets through
Thank
all
you.
the other mess, we'll see.
Yeah. So, okay, I couldn't remember exactly how Chassie had worded it earlier, but that's it. Like our environment when we do a party creates something people want to be a part of. Like if you're not proud of what you're doing, if you're not excited, energetic, all that kind of stuff, and you're up at the front of the room or you're at your 2-on-1 and you're talking like this, you're putting people to sleep. Y'all know you've sat in church when that preacher was preaching, right? Not to knock church, but some of them are monotone and they show no excitement and they're like, I'm so excited. That like people don't want that. But the whole point of what we're doing is to move people down the court or the field. Brent says field, I say court. We're basketball people on these calls. Okay, he can do his football analogies. And so when she said that today, it also made me think about Jessica. Some of y'all got to meet Jessica the other night, and y'all know I've used her in several posts in the group. She's in the group and she saw my post about the ghosting and she messaged me. She said, I wasn't ghosting you. And she just told me everything that was going on. I said, I knew you weren't. Like, that was my whole point of the post. Like, I knew you weren't, but to the typical person, you think you're being ghosted when somebody doesn't respond. But she had a breast cancer scare. Her fiance had to have like a heart deal. Like it was all this stuff happening at the same time. But we had a conversation yesterday for 3 hours. I was floating around in the pool after mowing and we talked. And she said, I remember back when you started recruiting me. She said, it wasn't all about you had to have me, it wasn't all about you making a sale. It wasn't all about like it just was different. She has another friend that's a network marketer, and all he does is talk about his product every time he comes around to where none of them want to be around him. It's one thing to be excited and drip, it's a different to vomit, right? Like we can have word vomit on people and it will run them off. But because she finally understood the drops are a tool, like the gym is a tool. She was like, because I could eat the foods list and lose weight. She's done it before, but she didn't understand how the drops were a tool, but I had to lead her there. Well, then guess what? I got her in front of Brent and Andrea. They had a conversation. We had a party after the party because she literally arrived as it ended. She walked away with something. And then we've just had conversations to teach her and lead her. And now she's like, so how long is this event in Orlando? Who do y'all think's getting my free ticket? I'm not going to let it just sit. I'm trying to get her to go and get her the ticket because she's seeing the big picture. She's a little slower getting there, But even while that's going on, I'm over here nurturing Coach Bowling. And he's communicating, he's stalking every story, not really stalking, but that's what I tell everybody that's on social media. You're stalking people. Like that's all we're doing, just watching people. But he's watching everything, he's interacting, he's messaging me. I got my product in. The man is like Greg and Mike. Like he's a coach that coached 34 years and knows everybody and their brother and their kid and their grandkid. Like the man knows everybody, but it's not something I can force. But you know what? I'm not in epic gold yet. Greg and Mike are. But am I over here sulking and comparing myself to them? No. I'm doing what I need to do for me, and I'm keeping the attitude I need for me to lead my people down the court. Sometimes it's a slam dunk. Sometimes it's a layup. Sometimes it's a 3-pointer. And sometimes you're throwing the ball from half court just hoping you hit something. Like we're shooting our shot. But sometimes I'm having to break the press to get the ball to the other end to even get the shot off. And I am constantly hit with adversity. Parents, kids, job, remodeling, kid wanting his own bedroom, big birthdays. Those things are going to affect all of us. But you've got to make the decision to have your mindset right to where you're putting it in front of people. Because if you're not opening your mouth, people are walking in front of you that are going to show up in the business with somebody else. I got a text from Leisha yesterday and she said, well, I've screwed up again. She said, one of my rodeo girls have signed up in another company because I keep putting off talking to her. And she's killing it a weekend. And Leisha's sick as a dog. Her other rodeo girls who have come here have killed it. And now I'm like, so who are we calling this week? I don't care about that girl. She may come back around. She may not. Maybe she killed it over there. But who are we calling this week? Who are we going to talk to? So that's the big thing tonight. Just make sure that you're in motion with us. So Greg, I want you to take over.
Gotcha. That's very good, Summer. And it's good that's the last part that you talked about was who are we going to call? Because what I was going to talk a little bit about tonight, and I'm going to get out of the way, because Mike Buck had me on the phone with somebody last night. And, there's a couple of ways we go about our business. Number one is intentionally, just like you were just talking about. It's our list. Who are we going to call? Each day, who are we going to call? We're going to reach out to 3 to 5 people. Who are we going to call? That's intentional. Second, the beauty of this business is it goes with me wherever I go. So I had an opportunity. Nick Reed and I went down to Franklin to that Super Saturdays at Haley Lee's. And on the way back, we stopped at O'Charlie's. I prospected the waitress, just sitting there asking her questions. And that's, like I said, the beauty of this business. It goes with me. We can just build this business and work this business as we go. And that's what I'm going to bring Mike in. Mike had a pretty interesting day yesterday. Now, he is playing golf. He's not very good, but he is playing golf.
I don't know now. I'm an eagle on a par 5, so I'm just...
That's pretty good. You're getting better.
There you go.
But Mike, if you would just take us through that day yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have playing golf with a buddy of mine. Actually, he's a high school basketball teammate of mine from 40 years ago, y'all. How crazy is that? But anyway, I was playing with him, his 2 sons and 3 sons and another guy. But there was another guy that came up behind us. He was playing by himself. And so we ended up pulling him into our group and he started playing with us. And as we went through it, was asking, just being friendly, asking questions, and talking to him about, what he does, family, his wife and kids, where does he live, all these things. How did he end up in Deer Creek in Crossville? And he explains to us over the course of, a few holes there that he drives a truck. He's from New Jersey, lives in Phoenix, married, got 2 kids, loves. He's very business minded. He's actually not just driving. He's also opening up his own little truck center. So just being friendly, just spending time with people. Got to know a really good guy, Roscoe Simpson. Yeah, just a great dude. And so so I piqued his interest with us being involved in a business, being a high school coach, and now growing a business with Partner Co. What is Partner Co? That's a great question, man. I'll tell you. Let me send you some information, right? And so I could have told him everything about it at verbal vomit, right? And we could do that. And he would have been like, "No, I think I need to get out of here." And we would probably stop playing golf with us. But just, kind of dripped on him a little bit, health and wellness, be able to help people, improve the quality of their life from a health standpoint and from a financial standpoint, if you're interested. Boom. That's all it was. Play the next hole. And he came back to me. The next hole, he's like, "Hey, I really am interested in this." Cool. Well, I'll send you some information. After we get finished playing, he had 3 videos in his text message deal there in his phone. And so I said, "When do you think you'll have a chance to take a look at that?" We scheduled a time to follow up. He said, "Listen, I'm going to go back, clean up a little bit. I'll be able to sit down and look at this. We can get together. I can talk to you later tonight. I'll be able to look at it in a little bit." Cool. 8:30 work? Yes, sir. Perfect. So at 8:30, I went back and sat down with Roscoe. I actually scheduled ahead of time, had Coach Bibb ready to answer his questions. And so sat down with him. And then I asked him these 3 questions. I said, "Hey, Roscoe, did you have a chance to look at the information I sent you?" He said, "Yes." Had he said no, I would have stopped and I would have rescheduled another time to talk to him, right? But he said yes. He looked at it. Second question was, "Hey, man, that's great. What did you like best about what you saw?" "I like the fact that it's all natural, and I love making money. I think we can make some money with this because it's really, really good." And he said, "In the marketing, the website that I saw, that was phenomenal." Wonderful, man. That's great. I love all that stuff too. The marketing stuff is amazing, and I do love making money. Right? If we can do it when we're helping people, that's solid. And then finally, I said, "What questions do you have?" And he asked me a couple of questions. I said, that's a wonderful question. You know what? I want to be able to make sure you get the right information. So I've got my buddy who is a leader in this company, a leader in this industry. He's proven to build big teams and build big checks along the way by helping people. He's actually here, and I want him to help answer these questions. Boom. I called Greg, put it on speakerphone there on the table. "Greg, this is Roscoe. I met him earlier playing golf. He's from..." I told a little bit of a backstory, and then he loves the fact that he can make some money with this, and it's all natural. His question was about, how do you actually go out and make money with this? And so I just turned the call over to Greg, and I sat back and ate my Blizzard. Right, we were at Dairy Queen, right, and so Heath Blizzard.
I was wondering if he's going to confess that part of it.
Hey, right? Yeah, for sure. I ain't scared, right? Don't judge me. No, I'm just playing. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Nick heard me. Yeah, he's gonna get me in the morning, I believe. Yeah, the guy shaking his head. There you go. Right. So I just sat back and ate my Blizzard, and Coach Bibb did all the heavy lifting for me. I just got out of the way. At one point, he goes, "Roscoe, I think you could probably do what Mike's doing right now." He said, "What is Mike doing right now?" And Roscoe looks across the table and goes, He's eating a Blizzard." So he said, "You think you can do that?" "Well, I do all the heavy lifting. Well, we help you share this information with people." He goes, "Yeah, I think I could do that pretty easy." And so that's a 3-way call right there, guys. That gets us out of the equation. People will look because they like us and they trust us. At that point, you pique their interest, you pass them some information, you schedule a follow-up so you can plug them into one of us. You do that, guys. If we do that, what we have is amazing. The leadership that we can plug people into, answer their questions, it's available, it's helpful. They're character people, and so I just think this is a grand slam. If we all want to make it a grand slam, it really is. We have our hands on something, guys, that every person on the planet needs these products. Every person on the planet, most families out there, I think, like the way Greg says, that we all make the same amount of money, not quite enough, right? And so we can help change that. We can create a legacy here that's a lasting legacy. So I'm super excited.
That's awesome.
Long, Coach. Hopefully that.
No, it's perfect. That is absolutely perfect, Mike. And I appreciate you sharing that tonight. And I think there's a lot of little nuggets in there in that whole story. And one of the main ones I want to get across to people is that you start training your people the second that you introduce Partner Code to them and how you do it. Because they're looking at you right now. As soon as you open your mouth to them, they're thinking to themselves, can I do what he or she is doing? Can I do it? Or if I can do it, do I really want to do it? And you go back to that ho hum body language with the boring preacher Summer, and I can guarantee you Mike Buck was excited as all get out, especially if he got an eagle that day. So I guarantee you he was excited to introduce this to Roscoe. He was really excited. It was in his voice. And it was something that I read just looking through some notes. I do it every Sunday before the call. Communication. What is it? 7% of that is words. 7% is what you say, your communication. 38% of it is how we say it. If you remember one of our first calls, I talked about me and Mike Buck riding down the road going to St. Simon's Island, and we get a little bored, don't want to listen to radio or anything else anymore, so we just start playing the game Dude. We give each other different circumstances, and the only word you can say is dude. Dude. Or dude. It's the same word. It's just said a little bit different. It changes absolutely everything. So 7% of it's words, 38% is how we say it, and 55% is your body language. How are you projecting yourself? Guys, this is amazing. Like Mike said, this is an amazing opportunity. I want to go to the top with each and every one of you. I know all of you won't. That's okay. I know where I'm going. Coach Buck knows where he's going. Nick Reed knows where he's going. Summer Simons knows where she's going. Let's all get it, guys. Let's all go get our piece. Just like we said, this goes with you everywhere, but have your list ready to call this week. Let's blow this thing wide open. Summer, back to you.
Hey, that's mic drop. Nothing to add to it at all, guys. At the end of the day, you just need to take 5-10 minutes when we get off and write down where you are. Are you engaged? Are you disengaged? What are you going to do about it? Draw a line in your sand when you get off the phone and go, just be real. Like, I've been slacking. I need to follow up with this person. This person's on the hook. I need to close them. Whatever it is. But if you're slacking, if you feel like you've kind of fallen off the wagon, like we do it in every area of our life, like it's just human nature, but it's what you do with it. Hey, it was real easy for me to fall off the wagon last week. I ate ice cream for supper. That's why I was laughing. I was so glad, Coach Buck. Hey, I'm keeping my business in business, right? Brent takes us, does these things, and he's like, "You want to go get ice cream?" I'm like, "I know what you're doing. You're trying to make sure I keep ordering drops, buddy." I've messed with him on that for 3 years now. Like, we make sure we stay in business. We're gonna keep Nick in business too. Keep these trainers running. But like, just be real with yourself. Go stand in front of the mirror. Y'all, I still got my 5 questions up there Greg gave us months ago or a month ago. It's probably a couple months ago. You got to look at it daily, just like you wash your stinking body off daily and brush your teeth. This is a daily put forth 15 minutes. It's not much. It's a little, but it'll change everything. So everybody have a great week. Mark your calendars. Go look at the group. I am going to start loading some guides into the partnership marketing. So our goal, was to have all that laid out where people can go look at the guides for onboarding and finding material where they're not searching everywhere. And I did actually shoot videos last week. I got a wild hair. I work great with deadlines, and I kind of created myself my own deadline. And so I got 3 of them done. I haven't actually watched them, so I don't know what I said on them. So we got to see if they're actually what we need. But we're trying to create that so as this momentum continues to pick up, we don't have people falling through the cracks. And the goal is to have some of this stuff done by PXP. Coach Buck, you were asked in the comments, what did you send him?
Great question. That's a little nugget too, right there. Somebody asks you a question, compliment their question. So that is a great question. What I sent him was from my PartnerCo app. I sent him. He wanted to know about compensation, so I sent him the compensation plan video with Brent. Also sent him the getting to know PartnerCo.
Mm-hmm.
There's another word for
It's
it.
like a Y partner code,
Discover.
maybe.
Discover.
Discover.
That's it. I never forget. I never remember that. So anyway,
Yeah, I don't
Discover
either.
PartnerCo and the compensation plan, right? And so he was able to go through the Discover PartnerCo and hit some of the compensation plan before we met.
Okay, on the compensation, because I know they're going to ask, because I know it's a type A asking. Are you saying you got the compensation plan from the Share app or the Boards app?
I've got it.
If it's the one with Brent,
yeah,
I think it's in Boards.
It's in Boards, but you can actually pull those and add them into your PartnerCo
Right.
Share app. That way, you have you can
If
see when
they've
they click
taken
on
the time limit off, they used to have a 3-minute time limit on there.
Oh, did they?
So yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
about that. Maybe he didn't get a chance to watch it all because he wasn't able to watch it all. That might have been it. So.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's what he sent. So now everybody's got that. So nobody has to lose any sleep. They know what to send. So send those messages this week, make those calls, look at the flyers, go to research drops, and get on the IPA. We've actually had some good IPAs this week. The last few weeks, just some things popping in, new things for people to try. And you know, if you take yourself off the fire, you're going to burn out. So get on the fire. Love you guys. Have a good one.
Great job tonight, Summer, Coach.